Hello, everyone. This is Jamarl Thomas. Welcome to Soapbox After Dark. It's only after dark just because it's like 2 in the morning here. Yeah, it's 2 in the morning here. I hope all of you are doing okay, or at the very least that had a very good day. The starting intro screen, Stanton Friedman. Stanton Friedman died on the 13th. Within the context of the UFO community, he was a giant of sorts, bringing scientific method to research, UFO research. I mean, after all, he was a nuclear physicist, if I'm not mistaken. So I was about to say shout out to, but whether he can hear me or not, I mean, I'm more agnostic on that issue. I tend to trend more towards the side of, yes, there's something there. If there's an honest, fair look at the evidence, even from the standpoint of these odd studies with the way consciousness interacts with our environment, yes, there's something there. And not the case. Shout out to Friedman and apologies, not apologies, but condolences to his family. Pursuant to that, or at the very least in the context of that, the U.S. Navy has gone through the steps. Where is it? Right here. So the Navy comes out and it says no release of UFO to the general public expected. And I think the story, I guess this may have come across as a nothing story, but this is not a nothing story. This is somewhat of a big deal. Now, why do I think this is somewhat of a big deal? Let me put the context of it and just the overt level of this, meaning not what people think. This is what is out, mainstream media, and this is the way it's being reported. So there's, no frills are going to be added to it. Several videos gets leaked to the public. Before those videos get leaked to the public, the New York Times comes out with a bombshell story. Not just the New York Times, political New York Times. It's picked up by the Washington Post, political, all of the major news organizations. ATIP, the United States government, have been studying UFOs. Now, people in the UFO community said no shit to this. But from the standpoint of the general public, that's somewhat of a bombshell. You also find that it's connected to Harry Reid. Now, on top of this, multiple videos get leaked into the public. 3 videos, in fact, of various UFOs with pilots engaging and talking about the UFOs while you're seeing gun camera footage. In one of the videos, you have the Navy pilots themselves flying with this particular aircraft. So in case somebody said, oh man, that's a fake, that didn't happen, the Navy pilot himself started doing interviews. Not just started doing interviews, the person who was ahead of the program itself, meaning of the military program that was studying UFOs and aerial phenomena, quit his job and starts working with an organization, To the Stars Academy, actively trying to find UFOs and actively talking about building a spaceship. Now, to some degree, yes, this is a bit big, but the point is, this stuff is being put into the media in a direct, specific way. In a direct, specific way. Now, in this stuff being put into the media in this way, all of these people are available to talk. The signal footage, meaning the ship itself that was there viewing this stuff, is well known and available to talk to. This is overt. This is not, oh, that footage is doctored because the guy who was there while that footage was being taken is talking actively to the media and has been in the military for 20-something odd years. And his pilot, the person who was flying with him, is also available to talk. It's overt. Somebody rammed this into the public's consciousness. Now, for whatever reason, this didn't get the bombshell appeal that I would have thought it would have gotten. I would have thought that media would have lost their mind over this. Oh my God! Are you telling me they're aliens? But they didn't do that. They would cut to a Pepsi commercial or something. I was blown away just by that alone. The largest secret on the planet. You are a ball hurling through the cosmos with our limited science. for the limited years that we've used it, and we've used most of our science to kill each other, we ourselves have started to explore the planets. What weird religion is it that this massive cosmos, we're the only ones here? And why would we assume that there will be nothing else that will reach the technological level of that further? Particularly if they came along a different evolutionary path. Why do we even assume that we weren't the petri dish of some other civilization that now flies through our skies? Like, we make so many assumptions. And the first thought, this notion that there's nothing else up there, just seems to be a mind-blowing one to me. And then when you get this thing where something seems to be cramming into the public consciousness, look at the evidence these guys have been taking. And not just the evidence, not just the video footage, the people who were there taking it. The public kind of raises an eyebrow, but not in a mind-blowing way, in a way that I think is adequate. But fine. My point is, this is overt, and this is in the public's consciousness. You find out later. I-Team just reported a few weeks ago that those documents, meaning those tapes, were released legally. That they were released legally, meaning there was no dubious leaking to this. Whoever got that information and released that information did so in a legal fashion, meaning depending on release that stuff on purpose. Oh, why is that interesting? Why is that not interesting? I don't understand why that's not interesting. There seems to be a concerted effort to get certain information out to the public, while simultaneously remaining with this notion of a two-step. Meaning, if something goes out into the public, they can't control it. And there's a concerted effort to control the information that's being leaked. If something gets out and it freaks the public out, there can always be this, we didn't release that. Those are fake. You can calm down. It's the two-step. The point is, we need to control the information and the way it's released, and we need to also control how the public accepts it. Because once it's out, it's out. The horse can't be put back into the barn. You can't tell the public, oh, we were just joking about the alien stuff. That doesn't work. So we find out Congress people have been getting briefed. Because when this evidence starts rolling out, even on channels like Fox News, congressmen start saying, what the hell is this about? Harry Reid starts getting calls from people like Rand Paul saying, Harry, what the hell is going on about the aliens? Congressmen started being briefed. And not just congressmen, people in the military. Now, what do you do with this information? The world has been put on notice that these videos are out showing something flying through our skies that the military is saying they don't know what it is and have not acknowledged anything about it. By the same token, you have people who were in intelligence doing information on this stuff saying, yes, there's something up there. Based on my scientific investigation, yes, there is something up there. And we have evidence about it. And not just evidence about it, we even can give you the physics on how it flies. When that guy's out there doing that, and when those people are out there saying, yes, we were seeing things. You have Britain, France releasing their UFO files. How on earth do you, with a straight face, look at the public and say, there's nothing to see here, folks? You can't. So what does the Navy do? The Navy says, fine. There's too much evidence. It's overwhelming at this point. From a mainstream media standpoint, something is in our skies. It's time we acknowledge it. And the Navy takes this amazing step of saying, we are changing how we accept information on objects in our skies that we don't know what they are. The reason they did this is because they wanted to take the giggle factor off of it. Now, part of this is that something is in our skies. What is it? Is it a threat? Just somewhat of an overt way. Not anything conspiratorial about it. If you take it on just absolute pretense of what they're saying, they're being honest. There's something in our skies. Should we not know what that is? Should we try to ascertain what it's doing here? Now, by the way, this is exactly what ATIP program was doing, by the way. Now, they tried to say we didn't look into this notion of what's in the craft. We only looked at what the craft is doing and how the craft is doing it and whether or not it's a threat. But, of course, we get a certain degree of ridiculousness here because wouldn't that, in part of that being what's in the craft? What's in the craft? the Navy comes out and says, yeah, we're going to start accepting information on this topic. And we're going to take the giggle factor off of it. Meaning we want to take it seriously. There's a there. That there's a real phenomena here. And that we need to start taking this seriously. That in and of itself is mind-blowing. That is an utter sea change to a military that for the most part said, nothing to see here, folks, there's nothing here. To now, okay, we're going to start accepting information on it. That's confirmation. How is that not confirmation? Is there something there? Or is there not something there, but they're devoting resources and time to changing protocols? That would make utterly no sense. This is confirmation. Going with this notion of confirmation, two things. In this article, they make the point of saying, we're not going to release anything to the public. Meaning, there's no information that we are expecting to be released to the public. All right. Now, the problem with this is, and I'm not sure what's more disturbing. There's something in our skies that you're now changing the protocols to. And in changing the protocols to, this would indicate that whatever is in our skies, you don't necessarily know what it is. And up to this point, those things have been called UFOs and have been connected with aliens. Now, I'm not saying it is or aliens, but I'm just saying up to this point, that's what they've been connected with. And if, as Luis Elizondo is saying, that some of this stuff, whatever the probability is, if it's 5%, that's still an amazing fucking thing because you're talking about something coming across our shores. But whatever it is, if Luis Elizondo is right, those things are under intelligent design. Now, the military is now saying we're going to accept information on these things because we don't know what they are. Or maybe we do know what they are, but we're not going to release that to the public. But in either case, we're taking the giggle factor off of this. We're accepting information on this thing. It's a real thing. It's a real phenomenon. Whatever the phenomena is, it's real. But we're not going to tell the public. Do you see the problem with this? Like, this is a little... Come on, tell me this is not a little bit disturbing. Yes, there is a real phenomena here. That is true. Yes, we don't know what it is. We're not going to tell you what it is because we don't know what it is. But there's something there. All right, that's the first part. Second part, we're not going to tell you anything about it. Yes, there's something there. Yes, it's a phenomena up to this point that we have considered paranormal. But no, we're not going to tell you anything about it once we do get information about it. That's a little strange. The third part, I guess it's being in the dark. I think it's the part that's a little unnerving. Because you've just acknowledged that there's something there. So now the secondary part is, okay, what's there? It was like, we're not going to tell you about that. We're not going to discuss that. The last part is Congress. Whatever Congress or conversation Congress is having, do you honestly believe that the Congress that we have at the disposal right now, that our political apparatus and the way that the political apparatus works with this notion of profit being the highest aspiration, do you honestly believe that this Congress is going to be looking out for the best interests of us, the human beings? And if you believe that, why do you believe that? And what has given you some indication that that would be true? These guys have just got massive income inequality, and these guys thought the biggest thing on the agenda was to get tax cuts, to get rid of people's health care. And now they're going to go after Social Security and Medicare if they get the opportunity after Trump gets reelected. But I'm supposed to believe that this Congress that believes that profit is the highest aspiration of an individual and they do everything in their power to bootlick the wealthy. And to be honest, to be fair, I'm not going to hit them individually because our system runs on that process. I guess that's my point. We have a political system that's ensconced in cash. And politicians require gobs of it to even just get elected. So you can understand why they would cater to that in a particular system, regardless of, these notions of morality and best interests and statesmanship and all this other stuff. Ultimately, our system runs on cash. And again, you can kind of see how that works when a political apparatus completely depends on cash in order to work. You can see why there will be a bias towards those ends. Why would we believe that system That's what I'm saying, not hitting individuals here. Corporations, maximize your profit, get as much profit as you can possibly get. And then that reaches into the political apparatus to politicians who get elected using that cash. Who do you think they're beholden to in that system? And now you're adding aliens. How is that going to work in a system that works in that way? I can think of one way, a military that already gets $1 trillion screaming that we need $1 trillion more to fight the goddamn aliens. Whatever. On one point, yes, I'm happy that this issue has broken into the public consciousness. Second point, I am terrified that this issue has broken into the public consciousness. I think so.